Well, welcome once again to the students in the Jesus and the Gospels class here at Southeastern University. This is your instructor, Dr. Larry Asplund, coming to you one last time by way of a video announcement. Welcome to Module 4 out of 4 modules, which means we only have 2 weeks left. So this is the first half of Module 4, Week 7. In our spring semester in 2023, and I wanted to be able to kind of give you some of the details of what we're looking for this coming module. Of course, that's then the end of this class. And so in order to successfully complete, I want to make sure I can do everything I can to communicate with you the details of Module 4. Of course, the focus of Module 4 is Jesus and the Gospel of John. So we'll have a wonderful opportunity to read this great gospel and to be able to interact on it together in a discussion forum, just to round off this class in a wonderful way. Just a quick note, of course, in order to access Module 4, you will need to complete the course evaluation. So be sure to access that first. I want to thank you in advance for taking the time to do so. Online learning really depends significantly on feedback from students. And so I will receive an anonymous report of your feedback. And so I just want to thank you in advance for your great ideas for this class. The course objectives, first of all, remember to read the written introduction because it has very important kind of summary material for us. And then our goals are, first of all, to recognize the characterization of Jesus in the Gospel of John, then to discuss Jesus's teaching and spirituality as we have been doing. And finally, to determine the distinction between the synoptics, of course, that's Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and the Gospel of John. John is very, very distinctive, written probably decades after the others. So it's really, really interesting to be able to read this gospel and to see how it comes alongside of those other three. Here are the resources available to us, of course, in Module 4. First of all, there's a video from the in-person, on-campus instructor on the Gospel of John. And then we will read 2 chapters in the great textbook from Burridge, chapters 5 and 6, as well as 2 chapters in the textbook by Carroll, chapters 6 and 7. There's also a supplemental podcast episode from Chris Green. It's called Chris Green Reflects on Jesus, and that's available to you as well. In terms of our, our graded assignments in Module 4, once again, we have a discussion. And so this time we're going to, first of all, begin by reading the entire Gospel of John in one sitting. I so much appreciate how so many of you have commented on the fact that reading the gospel in one sitting has really been helpful for you. And so while reading the Gospel of John, pay special attention to the identity of Jesus. You'll notice, for instance, by the end of John 1, nearly every title of Jesus is disclosed. So during the reading, ask yourself, what actions did Jesus perform? What emotions does he demonstrate? Did Jesus do anything that surprised you? Did Jesus do something that makes you feel comfortable? Those are the questions we've been asking. And after reading, you'll notice a vast difference between the presentation of Jesus in the Synoptic Gospels and the Gospel of John. So offer 1 to 2 differences that you have noticed for the discussion. As usual, we'll follow the same schedule, post a video response no more than 60 seconds by 11:59 p.m. on the 25th of April, and then reply to the posts of at least 2 other students by the end of the day on May the 2nd. And here we go toward the end of our spring semester. There's also a final exam here in the end of the class. The final exam is kind of different in that it is not an objective kind of exam that you maybe are used to in an online course. It's actually an essay exam. And so here are the very important instructions we have for our final exam. Students should study for the final exam by offering critical reflections of Jesus's particular characterization in each gospel account. So it's suggested that students are especially familiar with Burridge's chapters 2 to 5. That's a great hint. The exam will have 2 essay questions that will ask students to describe Jesus's characterization in each of the Gospels. In other words, there are 4 possible questions. You will only see 2 of them. And, it's the kind of a thing where if you logged on, which you can't do, but if you logged on a second time, you might get 2 different Gospels that it's asking for your reflection on. So the length of the essay should be around 4 paragraphs. Each question will have a 30-minute timer. So you will have a limitation on how long you can take to answer each question. No helps, no notes, no readings are allowed. It's just the reflection that kind of is an indication of how you have processed the information in this class. Students are permitted to use a Bible, but may I suggest, being the one who will grade them, to do more than quote from the Bible. Rather, you can use the Bible to kind of maybe jar your memory, but you are really personally reflecting on the question that would pose to you. So students must complete all tests by the stated close date and time, which of course is going to be by the end of the day on May the 2nd. So before starting, students should be aware of the close date and time of the test, allow ample time to complete both of the questions. All test answers submitted up to the close date and time will be posted, and students will no longer be permitted to access complete questions. Now, this is very, very important because it's always, it's not always, but sometimes it's an issue for students taking an exam online. Be sure to complete all questions on all pages before clicking on the submit button. As soon as you click submit, that's the end, and it's going to close up the exam for you. So that's always important, of course, in any kind of a situation like this. And remember, you need to have downloaded the Respondus Lockdown browser plus your webcam. It's just kind of a security measure when it comes to these online exams. So I love the fact that we're getting a lot of information about the life of Jesus in our study of the 4 Gospels. What a joy it has been to be able to read, to discuss, to explore in a variety of ways what is being presented to us in the Gospels. I have so appreciated this opportunity to do so, and I anticipate you all are going to do very well on this final exam with 2 essay questions out of a possible 4, rather than 100 true, false, multiple choice, etc. To be able to take the time to reflect on what you have learned will be very, very good. So as always, I will be alongside of you, appreciating the opportunity to explore together, in this case, the Gospel of John, and to be able to help you in any way that I can. So be sure to let me know if there's something I can do for you in the coming couple of weeks. So God bless you, everybody. Just have a great Module 4.